why care about history, right? Why does history matter? It doesn't matter really where you live, right? But as a nation, if you do not understand where you came from, how do you know where to go? The most famous artifact is the cannonball, which is embedded in this corner post, which was fired, during the Battle of Ridgefield. That's, by the way, how the American side called it. The British side, sort of talked about it as a skirmish. They didn't think it was warranted the term battle, right? So that's part of, again, teaching history, point of views, who gets to write history. Plus, we have a number of other interesting historical artifacts, including a British etching of General Benedict Arnold's horse being shot out from under him. It was a British etching used as propaganda, but once actually the war was lost by the British or the Americans, the Americans won, we won the revolution, all the copies were destroyed because it didn't depict Britain, in a very flattering, way. So all our tours and everything we do here is based on the fact or the premise that history is complicated and complex, just like we human beings, right? So people need to understand that there are different narratives, different storylines, right, told by different experiences. There are many different stories or experiences that make up our history. Everything we do here, all our school programs are driven by three premises or objectives, which are creating curiosity, encouraging critical thinking in order to have empathy and understanding for the world around you. The Ridgefield, the RCA 250 committee developed a passport, which actually talks about just Ridgefield and, sites of historical significance here. So we're part of that. We were thinking about and are planning, and this would be with some of the other sites, historic sites that are part of what's called Tryon's raid on Danbury. That's when British General Tryon marched up to Danbury and burned General Washington's supplies and then came back through Ridgefield, and hence this is where the Battle of Ridgefield ensued. And then they, for them it was a skirmish, and then they went back down to Westport and got back on their ships. So it's important we understand the nuances, the complexities, the complicated layers and narratives that actually brought us to where we are today, so we can strive for a more perfect union, to quote, Abraham Lincoln.